We have a little bit smaller of a crowd. Make sure all that's up. I think the cold weather kept everyone away. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for attending our very first Tuesday talk of 2025. So I just want to start off, of course, a Happy New Year. Hope you all had a wonderful, wonderful holiday season. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that lovely stuff. I know we didn't have our last two Tuesday talks simply because they both happen to fall on Christmas and New Year's Eve. So, anyways, I didn't think you'd want to be in here hanging out with me when you can be with your family. So otherwise, we'll go ahead and get started. Make sure everybody that is watching from home, please do remember, silence your cell phones or your pagers or anything you got that might make a bunch of noise so we can all kind of hear a little bit of updates. Keep in mind, we are just coming off the holiday season. Lots of stuff was closed. Lots of people weren't working. Lots of vendors, lots of partners. So we have a lot going on, but you're going to feel like you haven't seen much progress because there hasn't been. So we'll go into some of that, but I think we're all ready to hit the ground running for 2025. So I know, again, as I mentioned, Happy New Year. We're hoping for a healthy New Year. I do have just a brief slide just about some illness reminders and various things that are going around, but we'll get into that at that slide. We'll go ahead and start. I know Mrs. Margaret had some updates or announcements, so I will hand it over to her and we'll go from there.
Next Wednesday, RoRo is having their annual meeting. And at the annual meeting, we will be awarding the Wise Local Award, which is for a person that has done many things for Regency Oaks over time. And I'd like to read the name of the people that were nominated so that they can be there, so in case one of them gets the award, they're there. Bobby Belcher, Ron Carter, Tina Donahue, Mary Ellen Gardner, Andrea Hagner, Rosa Heckman, and Annette Pierce. Thank you.
Man, that's a tough list. I want to give that award to all of them. So please do make sure you attend so you can get your award. It would be terrible if you won it and you weren't there. So just a little bit from IHS, just a reminder, New Year, same puzzles. They said residents really love those, so please make sure you check your boxes for your free hours. They have your new puzzle in their boxes. And Christine and Maddie just wanted to say Happy New Year. I wish you a healthy New Year from the IHS team. Christine, Maddie, Angie, and Pam. She is one of the schedulers. Yes. She's been helping in various cases, but she helps with scheduling as well. It's a full-time job. So just another reminder, New Year, same problems. So please make sure we're returning all of our items. It's gotten a little better now that the holidays and the packages have subsided, but please make sure if there are any of those carts, any of those wheelchairs, walkers, any of those things that we do have for general utilization, that we keep those and return those in their respective areas. So that's usually by the front desks and in our service halls for everyone to use. Another reminder, again, I mentioned things in this meeting and on these updates because it is coming up frequently and it's become a little bit of a problem. So we are finding items that residents are no longer wanting and they are landing on our desks and in our break rooms. So please, please, please don't do that. We don't want those items that you don't want. If you need help discarding them, we can most certainly help you. But please do not just drop off random shirts and pants and stuff in break rooms or leave them on our desks. Yes, that happened. So I stand up and tell you, please don't do that. So again, well, if you need help, if it's something specific, we can most certainly do that. But please make sure we're not just leaving those all over the community. So again, reminder, I'm going to keep this on here because it's always an ongoing opportunity. Please remember to clean up after your pets. If you're having issues with that, you can hire IHS and they'll handle it for you. But please do make sure that you take care of that. Little bit of updates from Evan. So just want you to know that his cleaning focuses for the week, this week, January 6th, are the north building first floors, living rooms and doors, the north stairwells, and we're going to be spot surface the north carpeting. We do have, of course, Clearwater Carpeting is still coming out to clean our carpets, but we're going to be doing additional oversight and spot treatment as well. So as he mentioned, it is that time of year again. I kind of briefly mentioned illnesses, and we'll go into that later in the discussion. But it is that time of year again, so we are focusing on high-touch areas. Temperatures have dropped, it's getting colder, so this type of weather usually lends to RSV, respiratory, COVID, flu, etc. So we are beefing up the infection control by addressing these high-touch areas. Elevator buttons, door knobs, etc., etc. Please note that the environmental service team is discouraged to work when they're not feeling well. So unfortunately, if we do have somebody call in sick, we will try to pivot and get coverage for your apartment. But just keep in mind, sometimes there might be a little bit of a change. So again, this is a season. Lots of my team members are having to call in sick. I did just a few weeks ago. It happens, unfortunately, so just do bear with us, especially with the cold weather. So, but we are continuing to make sure that we address all of these high-touch areas to mitigate any exposure or potential spread and risk. And Evan did want to mention we are having a few staffing challenges because we do have a few in environmental that are not feeling well. And we obviously don't want them in your homes getting you sick. So we do encourage them, even if it's so much as sneezing and they think it's allergies. We usually like to take best precautions. We usually like to request COVID testing just to rule that out and etc. So just bear in mind we are very prudent about making sure that we address that proactively. So a little bit from plant operations, not too much. Probably could have made 2 slides. That's a lot of information. But we had 156 completed work orders, 45 do remain open. They are doing the dryer vent cleanouts. They should be completed today. Our fire panel is back online. We are working on a few glitches to make sure we get it to full functionality, but we are no longer needing to do fire watch. If something happens or something sets the alarm off, the alarm will go off and the fire department will be dispatched. We were doing fire watch because it was offline and that wasn't happening, but we've made progress on what was supposed to be a week, turned into 3 months, and we are almost near in sight for that to be fixed. We have been paying somebody around the clock 24/7 to walk every floor in the south building for 3 months. We're really excited to move forward. So are they. They got their steps there, huh? So we did complete new cooling tower fan assembly with some galvanized support in the north tower. We've completed 3 unit turnovers, that's UTOs and independent living for our new resident move-ins. We did have to run a dedicated water line for our dishwasher in the healthcare center to make sure that that temperature gets hot enough to kill any bacteria. So that has been addressed to make sure we maintain regulatory compliance and infection control compliance. We completed the south second floor kitchen bathroom renovation. We completed 3 HVAC units in resident apartments, that's the 8 new ACs. Elevator, 3 parts are scheduled to arrive this week and repairs should be completed before Friday. I just saw that email from TKE. It is our exclusive elevator company. That they mentioned that, so hopefully Friday. I probably should say next week because if history repeats itself, that would be the case, but that is what they said as of this morning. So they actually said tomorrow, but I added a few days for discretion. Our main phone system was repaired and a power supply replacement. We were having some issues with our phone and internet administration-wise yesterday. We are looking into having to get a new phone system in general, so that will be a major project that we will be addressing probably in Q2. Doesn't really affect you. It's just that our administration phone lines are on their last leg. So we're looking to get those replaced. And then just another kind of disclaimer, we are currently operating, we are 3 down maintenance techs. So we are working on work orders diligently. We are working on obviously getting those positions addressed, and oops, was so much it shut me off. 1 second, make sure it comes back up for you. There we go. So we are a couple down. We have some sick, we have some out on an injury, etc. So we are working on making sure all of the prioritized needs get addressed, and we will get to all of the items. So just bear with us with that. We are continuing to beef up our recruitment, so in the event this happens, that we're not affected as much. So again, as I mentioned, the fire alarm panel is on the up and up. We have a couple more things for it to be in its full functionality, but as we're continuing to work on them, we might need to test them a few more times. We will be communicating ahead of time to keep you informed. So just thank you in advance for your understanding. We're almost there. It'll be brand new. We shouldn't have to deal with it for a couple months. Just kidding. Just kidding. God, I hope not. So just a little bit from resident services. All this information simply says it's that time of year, we just want your history forms. So if you haven't updated them since last year, please make sure we get your health history forms. This helps us take care of you. This helps us in the event of a code. This helps us in the event of an emergency, and of course for hurricane and disaster preparedness. So this is a packet that's placed in your box. It's titled Exhibit E. We must have emergency paperwork on file in case of an emergency. This information must be kept up to date at a minimum annually, and it is, of course, protected by HIPAA. Please don't place them on the desks. Please hand them to Kelly Carroll, front desk, or you can put them in the blue lock box that's here just to keep your information protected. So as I mentioned, there's a little bit going on. The COVID cases are on the rise again. I don't know of any active at the moment, but they are on the rise, I know, in the hospitals, and just again because of the weather. There's also a terrible flu strand going around. It's very terrible. Usually includes vomiting, fever, etc. So just please, we're doing our part. We're beefing up lots of infection control. Please use common sense and universal precautions. That's your hand washing, covering your mouth. If you're not feeling well, please communicate. Visit the wellness center. Not necessarily visit Carol, but give her a call, and we can get these addressed with you. Obviously, if you're not feeling well, please self-isolate. If you know that you're under the weather, we don't want you coming to the cocktail party this week. But lots of various illnesses are going around. So contact your local providers. Otherwise, we have our wellness center that can help address any of those needs as well. So just wanted to make you aware of that. So I know we've talked about this a little bit, but Thursday on January 9th at 2 p.m. here in the Grand Lobby South, the Lighthouse of Pinellas Services, eligibility and how to apply. So that's adult services, ADLs, activities of daily living, management skills, recreation and leisure, orientation and mobility, and mental health services. So if you're interested in any of that information, Thursday, January 9th, they'll go over all of that with you for the Lighthouse of Pinellas, and that's for the blind and visually impaired. And if you have any questions, of course, you could see Kelly or Carol about that. So little updates from Ginger. We were talking about this Saturday. It's probably going to be chilly and possibly rainy. So I think she's going to reassess on Thursday about the trip. But it is still on as of now for Saturday the 11th. But going back to Wednesday, January 8th, we've got Avon is at 10 to 2. Wednesday, we've got our Regency Oaks dance night. Thursday, as I mentioned, the Lighthouse for the Blind presentation at 2 p.m. Grand Lobby South. Thursday, January 9th is the monthly cocktail party, and that will be black and white themed. 3:30 here in the town hall. We'll all be here to serve you and watch you dance your little tushies off and have a good time. Friday, January 10th is vocal cords, 11 a.m. here in town hall. And as I mentioned, it's the Trip to Marie Market, which if you haven't been, it's my favorite market. When I lived here, that's where I went all the time. It's a great market with, I think, is it like over 100 vendors? It's huge, and they've got the coolest things. Up to you. It will be a little chilly, possibly rainy, so Ginger is going to assess on Thursday and communicate, but as of now, it is still scheduled. So if you are brave and you really want to shop till you drop, that is the opportunity to do so. So hopefully not literally, it's very, very cold. But that is again January 11th, and it says it's 10:15 departure, weather permitting. So just a little update from sales. We had a fantastic quarter, very, very, very busy. We ended 2024 at a 62 sales overall for the entire year. And for the quarter, Q4, we say Q4 quarter, our sales budget was 14 and we landed at 15. So as always, thank you to the ambassadors, thank you to the marketing committee, thank you to Ricky, thank you to Betsy, thank you to everybody that made all of those deposits, contract closings, and new move-ins possible. So we know the name of the game is occupancy, right? We can't have an amazing community like this and do all the amazing things we do with no one living here. So it's really important that we all work together for that common goal. And we did it, so thank you. Thank you, and we'll do it all over again in 2025. Other than that, our January, Betsy, your computer's not liking me today. Hold on a second, sorry about that.
It's cold.
It's cold, yep. It just kind of froze up on me. You see it? Oh, you need that guy, huh? Stop the slideshow. There we go. It's fine. Get back. Bear with me. Sorry about that. It is. It's cold. That's all the old stuff. As I mentioned, January 9th is our event. It is full, so we are doing another one January 16th. So that's such a good problem to have. We do direct mail pieces, we do targeted strategic marketing from a corporate level, and they're obviously doing a really great job in generating interest in our community because we continue to have events that normally would have 20, 30 people are now being 40, to where we're having to do 2, which is a good problem to have. So again, thank you for all of your contribution to that success. So just a little bit from food and beverage. They said their bourbon club is Wednesday the 8th. They said their wine club is going to be Tuesday the 14th. Their beer club Tuesday the 21st. Theme night is going to be Greek. I might be there for that one. And the 22nd. Whoops. I could do that if it's warmer. He says he has the Italian night on the 22nd too, but I don't think that's, I'll have to double check that date. No, wouldn't be both. Ricky does it every time.
I think the Italian night's Tuesday, but I'm not positive.
I'll double check. I always check their numbers and their dates, and he sometimes still slips it in on me. So food and wine Thursday the 30th, and then the gourmet dinner I know on the 15th and the 29th, because I double checked that one. So we'll get the information for that Italian night. I do believe it's that Wednesday. I just don't have my calendar in front of me to know the date. And then just a little follow-up from me. Like I mentioned, the last few weeks, there's been a little bit of halt. Blue Team wasn't as busy. Elevator, fire panel, lots of things kind of came to a pause. But again, lots going on. So we are still completing our end-of-year annual evaluations. That's a very long process. It takes about 3 months for almost 400 associates to first do a self-evaluation and then meet with their supervisor to do the annual evaluation. So long process, but it's important. So we will be completing, I have to do mine with my director, and then I will be meeting with all of our directors, and we'll be going over goals for 2025 in all of their evaluations. So I sit down with Ricky, sit down with Betsy, Ginger, Sherry, Darwin, everyone, and we'll go over the evaluation as well as 2025 goals, personal and for residents. That's still in process. That deadline is about mid-February for all of that to be completed. Blue Team is doing another visit. They just love to take my time. They'll be here for the carpet project on the 8th from 11 to 4. They will be here for a site inspection for the hurricane restoration project on 110 from 12 to 4. Our new LCS risk management, his name is Jed Trumpet. He took Daniel Wicker's position. Will be here visiting on the 14th. I'll have to meet with them right after Tuesday Talk on that day, and they'll be spending some time with the team and visiting the community. We do have the pendants programmed. Betsy's needing to complete one final test of the zones, and then we will be ready to distribute those. So one more project where we're almost there. Looking forward, I know we have some new board members, so looking forward to 2025 board members with our RoRo and a successful collaboration for all of our communities. So I know some have been on the board for quite some time and some will be newer, so excited to be working with them. We do have a RoRo lunch set up for the 17th. I had to again move that. I do apologize. I told Margaret, I just want to apologize in advance. With these large projects going on and with so much swirling around with Blue Team, there is a lot of times where they're flying from all over the nation from various places, and it's not really at my discretion when they come on site. So if I have to cancel something or change something, I do apologize. I try not to as much as possible. I try to push back and tell them that visit won't work, that day won't work, but sometimes it's just unavoidable. So it's my commitment to try not to cancel Tuesday Talks for any of it, but every now and then there might be some type of engagement that I might not be able to make it to, and that's unfortunately because my schedule's been hijacked. So I do apologize for that. It's not because I don't prioritize you or our community. That is just par for the role of my job. So again, we had to change our RoRo lunch meeting, so thank you for that flexibility, and I'll try to mitigate disruption as much as possible. As I mentioned, we are going to be working on getting a new phone system. That is one of the projects we need to before they die on us completely. I think they're like 30 years old. That's what I was told when I came on board. So it's their time to be with the Lord. So I think Tuesday, January 28th, one of the vendors are called Mixed Networks is going to come on site and do a survey and give us a bid for our new phone system. So you might see little men running around. They're just looking at how they're going to help us transition for that project. CapEx, as I mentioned, we are looking to get that basically any day now. Every year it's usually not until this time. I had a corporate call with all the regional team yesterday, and Gary Avery is our corporate Plan Ops Director, and he said he had not gotten final approvals from HealthPeak yet. As I mentioned, they look at everything as a portfolio, so HealthPeak is, of course, probably kicking around everything that needs to be done for the 13 communities and trying to determine what's the highest priority. So I don't have that yet, but as soon as I get that finalized, you will be the first to get that information. We did start, I know I mentioned it, a new resident orientation process that's actually going to begin tomorrow. So Kelly is getting all of that out to our new move-ins. And that will start at 11 a.m. And it is similar to our employee orientation where all the directors have a slideshow and a presentation and a part to go over so they can be as informed as possible. Now it is up to them to participate in this process. However, we are holding it, and I'm hoping that that helps clarify some things upon move-in. I know we had mentioned that Lauren had departed to another state. We actually have found her replacement, and our new marketing assistant will actually be in orientation this week. So we'll be starting 2025 off with a really good, strong, full sales and marketing team, which is important because it takes a village in that process. We do have a Blue Team call actually today at noon to go over next steps for the hurricane restoration part. Remember, there are two. So more to come for that, but I have a call at noon. We are, of course, going to be removing the Christmas decor this week. So we've started in the the north lobby, we'll be getting it from the outside and throughout the community, getting all that cleaned up, unfortunately. So again, just a little bit about Blue Team. I know I've mentioned it, but we actually have 2 different projects going on with them. We have the fire restoration from the carpet that has now been 22 years, what feels like. They are still needing to finalize that. I'm kind of at their mercy. I'm waiting on dates. They had given me dates and then they pulled back on those dates. So they continue to complete multiple site visits related to their partners that they're working with and multiple assessments and blah, blah, blah. So I don't have a date for the carpet yet. So I don't really, it's a priority. I'm continuing to stay on them. I'm continuing to follow up with them. It is happening, it is coming, but I don't have a date for the carpet part just yet. So hopefully I'll get additional clarification this week. They kind of keep changing that on me. And it just, fortunately, that's just the way it's went, and we'll continue to communicate as they give me a little bit more of a clear timeline. For the hurricane restoration piece, that has most certainly gotten quite in-depth. Right? You have water, you've got possible open sheetrock, there's lots of various areas, water intrusion, whether it be from the windows, whether it be from the roof. So very complex, very large, in-depth scope. So we are needing to address multiple areas. Many residents' homes are in different phases and statuses. We are communicating as much as we know each day. I know Betsy is doing the call them alls. She's communicating with those pertinent residents as much as possible. And we are working with Blue Team on additional information to give you additional information. Right now, we're kind of communicating as much as we know because there's so much, so fast, and everybody is in a little bit different of a spot. So nonetheless, we're working on trying to get a little bit better information for those of you that are affected. So with that, Sherry wanted to share this. So this is actually greetings from Dogs Inc. So Sherry, our Director of Financial Services, as you know, she was taking care of Chris for about a year. And so he is 2 years old now and has completely completed his training. So he will potentially be matched with his new person as a seeing eye dog for the January 21st class. He looks like a grown man, look at him. So he has graduated college, he's going off to his first entry-level job, and he is going to be a seeing eye dog for somebody. So isn't that wonderful? He's so beautiful, isn't he? Look at him, he's so distinguished. So she does get to have a reunion with him one last time to play, and then off to services he goes. So we just wanted to share that because he's so beautiful. He was with us for a year. We all kind of had a little bit of a loss when he left. But he's grown up now. It's time to let him go. And then again, just another thank you so much. The staff were so appreciative of the residents' generosity. I have the 2 giant cards. I left them on my desk. I will make sure you get them. I am so sorry. But I have 2 giant cards that every employee signed to thank you and write you a little token of appreciation. So again, just thank you for your kindness, thoughtfulness, and generosity for that. And then that's all. So any questions? Hello, Miss Judy. You're setting us off.
You mentioned the elevator repair. Is that south or north?
That is the one in the south.
Good.
Glad I could help. Yes, ma'am.
This is more in the area of announcements rather than a question. Allergies.
Yes.
I'm Renee Duane, and I'm in charge, the coordinator for the Great Decisions program, which will commence March 5th of this year. For those of you who are familiar with it, you know what a terrific program it is. It's so intellectually stimulating. It's provided by the Foreign Policy Association. This is an international organization that promotes discussion of topics that are of interest to people in any country of the world. subjects like the oceans, pollution. One of the topics this term will be artificial intelligence. So what I'm here to say is I have sign-up sheets on tables in each of the, I call them the annex to the lobby. I don't know the term for this little area where all the sign-up sheets are, but I have sign-up sheets there for volunteers who would like to lead a great discussion session. The sessions last an hour. There's a half-hour video, so you don't have to do anything then. And then there's time for discussions after it. And the organization, the Foreign Policy Association, does such a good job. I've been a teacher for like ever. And it was like, wow, this is a piece of cake. I didn't even need to go to college for this. All right, so don't be concerned. It's not daunting, and I will be there to help you. 4 people have signed up for 8 of the topics already, and we're looking for 4 more. So if this is something that interests you, you can either contact me, again, I'm Renee Duane, I'm in the directory, and or sign up for these tables. Enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I just had something I'm really enjoying is the lights on the breezeway. Is there any, when I come back from the North Building at night, it just lights your way so beautifully. Looks like a fairy wonderland. I wondered if there was any way to leave those up all year, all the year.
I'll probably have to say no. It would be very, very good look to have Christmas lights all year long, but
Well,
we'll make sure the breezeways are lit.
Yeah, well, they're white, so I mean, it really just, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. I agree, but we'll save it for next Christmas.
I'd just like to thank the staff for the beautiful decorations. This is my first Christmas here, and the lobbies and the dining areas were really beautiful.
Well, thank you.
I know they spent a lot of hours getting all of that ready.
Just a couple, Ginger, huh?
And volunteers from the
Yep, that's
residents
right.
too. I just wanted to know what the status is of the ringing in the lobby. It's been going on for about 3+ weeks, and it's really getting to be quite annoying. So I don't
Yeah.
know what the status is on getting it repaired.
So that's the fire panel. They're working on that one as well. Yeah, we don't have an exact date. It's driving us crazy too.
Yeah, it really is.
I know. That's the other fire panel. They both decided to malfunction at the same time.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
we're working on it. Yep, that's how it works. Yes, Miss Judy?
You mentioned sickness going around. I forgot to mention a while ago, the flu went through my children's homes and families, and it was very, very difficult. They were very, very sick, so be careful.
Hospitals are full.
Yep, that's what I mentioned. It's a terrible, terrible strand. It's like,
It was A flu,
mm,
type A.
yeah, it's bad. It's my family the same. I had Christmas was supposed to be 9 of us. It was down to 3. So it's definitely a really bad strand. I think Betsy was out last week. It takes you out, young or not. It does. Any other questions? Okay. Well, happy Tuesday. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you. Let me know if you need anything else. Appreciate you all.